Hello, welcome to Looking Through the Glass. We have Giselle and we have our friend GIHSO, and I'm Sela. Hi GIHSO, how are you doing? Today
I'm
we're
doing.
gonna. Oh, I'm sorry. I told you I'm gonna bumble it up. I always do.
That's okay. That's okay.
I apologize. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. Yes. Thank you for having me here. It's an honor to be here. Yeah, let's dive into it.
Yeah, let's
I
just
like
dive right into it.
I like how he's like it's an honor to be here, like where we're big and all that. And it's like we got like what a whole 5 followers.
That's all right. I love it. I love it. Yeah.
You know what? We're gonna be bigger. I keep seeing the signs. No.
Well, and
Absolutely.
from what she's told me is that you're a motivational speaker.
Yes. I love motivating people. I've been doing it for, I would say on TikTok, I've been there for maybe 3 years now. Right? And the GIHSO brand is something that I push. So my first name is Brian, but I go by GIHSO because that's the brand. I really want that to be, recognized through people. And GIHSO stands for going in hot, safety off. And it's not about a weapon or inanimate object, but for the most powerful thing you have with you every day, your mindset. Take the safety and limitations off that and go get what you want out of life, but do it in baby steps. That is what I tell people, and that's what I talk about a lot every day. I have neighbors like, "Yeah, I talk about the mindset." The mindset, I said, it is so important to have a healthy mindset. It is so important to love yourself, right? It's so important to sometimes you have to pick your own self up because you can't find the right people at the right time that you can call. Somebody might be busy, or you may feel like you're by yourself. So for me, I motivate people. And it's always been a gift that I've had ever since I was a child. My mom used to tell me, "Son, stop talking so much." I'm like, well, but why, Mom? But why? I want to talk, right? She told me, she said, "You would make a rock talk back because I just talk so much. I was so inquisitive, right?" And she was like, "Hey, man, the rock would be like, 'Hey, I'm a rock. Don't you know I just talk like any other man?'"
Don't you realize that I don't talk back?
Yeah, absolutely. And here I am just talking to the rock. "Hey, rock buddy, how are you today? Are you rocking or rolling?" Right.
And
So,
this is why I wanted him on here.
so yes, I motivate people. I speak. I talk. I've spoken in crowds, schools, kids, right? And I love it. I do. I get a charge from it. It's like an energy that comes over me, and
Hmm.
I'm happy. Yeah.
Do love the energy he puts out.
I
I
told
love
you.
the energy that you put out. It's amazing.
Yeah.
You
Thank you.
make people smile, and I feel that
You
from
can
you.
In all honesty, I could be, and then this is for our listeners. He is on TikTok. He is on YouTube. What other platforms are you on? Are you on more platforms?
Just those two. Now,
Just those two.
I yeah, I have an Instagram page, but I don't really know how to use it. I see some people on there. I don't know. I don't know how to use it. So TikTok,
We're being told to be on Instagram too, and I'm going. I barely use it for my personal
I
stuff.
barely use
I've
it.
refused. I've refused social media all this time. I never thought that this would be my calling. I always thought my calling was animals. That's
Wow,
what I've always felt animals. I've always been able to read them. Animal behavior is something that I've studied my entire life. Like
interesting.
even as a very, very young child, I would just watch the animals. I'm a human watcher too. But
I know that's from his
stalker
vlog.
vibes apparently.
He did that the other day. That was the part of the live that I saw. I watch people.
Yeah.
Someone was like, "That's stalkerish."
Yeah.
Using that line. Oh my gosh. Using
But
that
it's I think it's more of, like you said, a curiosity. With me it was, why do they do that? How come they're doing that? And I would watch their body movements. Not to mention I grew up in a lot of trauma, so that made me super vigilant,
true.
on a hyper awareness. But I just want to tell our viewers, If you are on TikTok or YouTube, if you are in a bad mood, if you are feeling down, go into GIHSO's room if he is live, because I promise you, you will go off walking away with a smile on your face. You can't help it. In your
Thank you.
energy, it just can't be helped. Like, I
Yeah.
just, you talking, I just get a big smile and I'm like, oh my gosh, the energy that you put out. And I'm a huge person on energy and vibrations and frequencies. And the frequency that you put out helps elevate others, in
Oh
my
wow.
honest opinion.
Yeah. Thank you for that. I mean, that's something that I practice, right? I live by this. And I tell people, like, even if you had a day to hang out with me, I'm the same, right? I don't change. I don't go into a persona. This is who I am
Yeah.
24/7, right? This is who I am, because I think sometimes when people have to go into a persona, you're not being 100% authentically you,
Yes.
Agreed.
Agreed.
right?
Yeah,
So
100%.
That's
if
why we do the podcast instead of TikTok, because we're unable with our stories, we're
Yep.
unable to do what to be that authentic selves. And like I
Yep.
said, we're unapologetically raw. And
Yeah.
that's, I mean, we all have a mission here. We all have a
Sure.
mission. And our mission is this podcast. Our mission is to be a safe place for people to say their raw truths
Yeah.
and be able to heal. I believe in telling your story, talking about it, and getting it out there instead of holding it in so strongly. Then you're able to release it. That's
Yeah.
my firm belief. That's my personal experience as well. Not everybody's like that, but there's a lot that are.
And that's beautiful, right? That you created a space for them, right? For that,
Hmm.
because listen, I tell people this, and they laugh at me. I say talking and therapy are like farts. They're like, what? It's more room out than is in here.
Yes.
They
Hmm.
have to have a place to let that out, right? If your stomach is it hurt, you let one go. Ooh, I feel a bit better. Oh, okay. It's the same way of your emotions. It's the
But
same.
you are 100%
You
right. And
are.
and that's
I'm sorry, the way you explain it, it's just. It
what's
is
funny?
funny.
What's funny is one time she farted and I was like, oh, it's just you letting your demons out. So she wakes up the next morning to her husband and lets one rip, and she was like, don't worry, mom just says it's me letting my demons out.
That's good.
But
That's
it's
funny.
kind of like that, you have to let those things out, because if
Yes.
you're holding on to them and being so ashamed or scared of telling others because of
Yes.
that judgment,
Yes.
and my own personal experience, shame was the thing that brought me down. And that is the lowest frequency that a human can resonate at. It literally
Sure.
brings on disease.
Yes. Oh, speak about it. That is so important. Yes.
It literally brings on disease, and we're here. I truly believe that you and many, many others, and there's others out there that still have not come out, we're here to help elevate the frequency of the world here.
Absolutely.
And okay, people can say I'm crazy. I am. I'd rather be
Yep.
crazy and be on this
Yep.
frequency than
Yep.
where I was.
Hmm.
Agree.
Well,
Agree. Yeah. It's something that I just love, and
And you
I
get a
will
high
hope.
from it.
Yeah.
I
No.
get a high from it, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. I can't help it. Now, for a long time, I ran from this,
Hmm.
right? Because I saw myself, I was trying to fit into other communities, and I always try to be a part of organizations, and it would go well for a little bit, but after a while, they'll shun me, they'll push me away, or I become the problem person because I'm stating some things like, hey, shouldn't we be helping them this way? And then I
hmm.
become the problem, right? So one day I just stopped. I said, okay, Brian, what do you want out of life? If you can't find a community that will accept you, if you can't find a person that truly loves you, well, I had to, one, learn how to love myself first, right? And once I did, well, then the right people came along. This is how you build a community, is by going out and being who you are and loving thyself, and the right people will come. So I stopped trying to force myself like a tick. I'm gonna squeeze in here.
Yeah.
No, once you do that, this is how you build community. And now it's from a place of love. It's from a place of respect.
Mm-hmm.
It's from a place of joy, right? And because I'm the type of person, I don't ever try to take advantage of anybody. That is something that I do not do. I'm big on that, right? And I'm so open to hearing people and making them feel comfortable, right? Anybody that comes into my lives, oh, I love being here. I love the atmosphere, right? And then more people come in that have the same thoughts, the same love for people. And that's how you really grow and build something that is infectious, that will catch on. And then now you're building a legacy. And that is the purpose that I'm trying to do. Yeah.
That's funny. I've always said that I was brought here to build a legacy. That's kind of
Yeah.
funny. And you literally are describing the steps that I went through with the, quitting the drugs and stuff like that. You know, those, and I think that we all kind of go through those steps. It's the same steps for that's just the way elevation and raising your frequencies and
Sure.
vibrations work. But the number one thing is your heart space. Your heart space is the number one. The only way you're going to get there is going through that heart space.
Yes.
And that we run from that heart space. We're taught to run from that heart space. We're taught in school, we're taught on a daily basis in this society to say, hey, no, you need to think with your brain, not your heart. And no, 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 no,
That's right.
no. You need to
That's
use
right.
them together. They're both
Yes.
tools.
Absolutely.
You
Yeah.
know, but the only place you're going to get the happiness is from inside.
That's right. Yeah. And you can't suppress those emotions and those feelings. You cannot. I tell people this: suppression equals depression that can
Yes,
lead to aggression, right?
that.
If we don't deal, ooh, listen. And those were the moments in me, myself, right? I was trying to suppress these emotions, suppress them down, not deal with them, just pay no mind to them. And
Yeah,
now I found myself more aggressive. I'm out here, kicking over my own couch and beating up my TVs. And now I got to go to Best Buy and buy all this stuff again.
yeah.
I had to deal with that. Yeah, I had to deal with that.
Well, and I completely agree with that because I suppressed it. I've gone through the suppressing of emotions on several different accounts, and
Yeah,
that it comes out at some point, and it's going to come out in some kind of formal way.
yeah,
It
But you
has
want to
to.
have it in a healthier manner than letting it go out in the anger and then taking it out on somebody who may not deserve it, and then you're just putting
mm,
them through something.
wow. That's beautiful what you just said. Oh my gosh. And you take it out on other people that's not even deserving of it, right? Oh,
Yes,
goodness.
and then now they're going through and they don't know how to handle it, and then it's a continuous it's a cycle.
It is. It is. Wow.
So I read a book once. I can't remember the name of it right off the top of my head. Um, but it talks about energy, and it talks
Hmm.
about how you're able to see energy. We
Hmm.
all have energy. Every living thing has energy, plants
Yes.
included.
Hmm.
And
Yep.
there's been scientific studies based on you put two plants in the same room, have the same temperature, have the same amount of watering. One you don't do anything with, the other you group of people every couple of hours on a timely basis come out, stand around it, and project good, loving
Yeah.
energy towards
Yeah.
that plant, and it proves that the plant grows stronger,
Yeah.
healthier, and it produces healthier fruit as well.
Wow. Wow.
And in this book, he talks about there. It talks about now. It kind of puts this information based in a story, but it's true. These are true things, and just the same thing with the snowflakes. The snowflakes forming. If you put it in different frequencies, it's going to have a different shape, and the more positive the frequency, the better the
Yeah.
shape. But it talks about with arguments, or with that exchanging the when you hold the stuff in and it turns into aggression and then transferring it to other people, what you're actually doing is you're stealing their energy.
I call
Wow.
those energy vampires.
Yes, they're steal you because you're not tapped into source. You're not tapped in. You're disconnected, and you
Right.
don't know. We don't have that knowledge, and it's not widely spread on how to connect to source. People
Wow.
aren't being taught these things. So when you're in an argument, you feel somebody is basically stealing their energy, and now you've got to fight back to get that energy back because your body automatically doesn't understand. You have to mentally be connected, and
That's
heart.
it. Yeah. I love that concept. That is so true. Yeah, we are walking energy vessels, right? That's exactly
Mm-hmm.
right.
We're
Yeah, I
here
agree.
living a human experience.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree
I
with
don't know
that
how many times
100%.
I've had my energy sucked from me. That's why I didn't like going to school and dealing with all the teenagers, and because they don't know how to control that part.
Yep.
And, and I went to 4 different high schools, and I absolutely hated every single one of them because it just felt like my energy was being sucked from me every single time. I would just sit there in the lunchroom and just break down crying for no reason because I'm like, why?
Yeah.
And it was just because somebody was in there just stealing my energy because
Yeah.
it's such an aggressive time for them.
That's interesting. Yeah. Now, I remember when I was in high school. Now, I played sports. I played football, played basketball. So I was accepted with the athletes and, some of the cool kids, if you right, want to label that. But I know there were moments in my life that I was always drawn to people, or people were drawn to me that others shunned, right? The kids that were like, super smart, had a high IQ, they were always drawn to me. And I always wondered why. But as I go through my life now, I know why. This was a part of my calling to move and to love, right? That energy that I gave off. And I sit back and I think about that now, and I said, man, if I had really studied that back then, right, where would I be now, right? And I've shunned it a lot of times, or I ran from it a lot of times because I was scared of it. I didn't understand it, right? At that moment, I was like, well, what is it about me that they like? I don't know, right? And I would really run from it. It terrified me of opening myself up to what I, was called to do. Do y'all feel that sometimes? Have y'all felt
Oh
that?
yeah,
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 yeah. It
that one did.
me. She has so she's always wanted to do YouTube with me. She's always what it was it
So back when Vines was a thing, because I loved the
Oh,
Vines,
yeah.
and
Yes.
so back when Vines was a thing, and all the YouTube and all the funny videos and everything that
Yep.
were out there, she
Yep.
would always do the craziest things.
I'm so off the wall
She was just off
all
the
the
wall.
time.
This woman stuck her head out the window while driving down a hill, going wee wee wee, like the Geico commercial.
That's funny. That's awesome. That's good.
So these were the things I wanted to get on camera because I was like, this is unhinged.
That's good.
And so, but
That was my coping mechanisms when I was in my heights of trauma.
when we went through a lot of trauma,
That-
but we dealt with our trauma with each other and laughing and just dealing with, having fun. She would make everything fun, and so I'm like, come on, just let us. And but the shame, the shame of the fear of being on the internet,
Yeah.
it's taken me 20 years.
I ran from it. So it's kind of the same thing. She felt that that's where we were supposed to be. All
Wow.
this time, she felt it like she was feeling God, my purpose, but I wasn't. Like I said, I swore that my purpose was with animals. I knew it because before I could even comprehend what a veterinarian was, I was doing it. Yeah, I was trying to fix the animals always, because of the
Powerful.
traumas that I experienced from. I was always the fat little girl, the fat shy girl, the fat quiet girl, and it was always I was fat but I was pretty, so got boys would be attracted to me, but they would shun me in front of people.
Mm,
You
I got
know,
it.
it was when we were alone in the conversation because
Mm-hmm.
nobody else was around. Now they like me. But when everybody else was around, oh, you're going to tease me, make fun of me. So it taught me not to accept myself. I was so afraid of those my looks. I was so afraid of because I have a mustache, I gotta wax off that, oh my gosh, because I have bushy eyebrows or whatever. And I literally had to force myself, and this is really funny. I forced myself to not I didn't do any of that stuff, and I still recorded. I still did all of it. I pointed it out so that I wouldn't be so ashamed of it. I had to put myself through that uncomfortable in order to be comfortable now, you know?
I get that. Yeah. That's part of the radical acceptance that, that helps you.
I told you this, so that's my other thing, radical acceptance.
Mhm.
That was what that's what I kept calling it. It's got to be radical acceptance.
Yep.
It's so funny. The mindset
Absolutely.
is everything, isn't it?
It is. It is. Yeah. It is this, the building blocks to greatness, I believe, right? The building blocks to overcome um, everything in your life, right? If the mind isn't willing, the body will not follow, right? And vice versa, right? It all works in hand with each other. But I like to tell people this, that with me being armed security for 22 years, I did that for 22 years. Like, I saved people's lives. I ran it, to the sound of danger. I pulled a lady from a burning car one time,
Wow.
and when you look into somebody's eye gates and you see hope, oh, that's a different feeling, right? Being the first one on the scene and pulling people out. But I tell people now, I'm not a first responder physically anymore, but I'm a first responder to your mindset, and I love what I do. I really do.
You're great
I
at it.
mean, thank you. I can do this all day and all night, and just be a help to people. And I truly believe that's why I'm here on this earth, right? To motivate, to love, to appreciate everything about a person. I know for a fact part of my calling is that. Now, I don't know where it's going to take me down the road, but I expect greatness to happen or to come from it. Yeah,
I expect greatness too. I absolutely do. I agree with you. And I think expecting it is kind of what's going to help bring it. I
absolutely.
just keep going. Remember God's promise. Remember God's promise. Remember God's promise.
Absolutely.
That's what it just keeps repeating in the back of my mind through all of this because I still want to run from this. I still get super nervous. You see me bumble up at the beginning of the entrance. We still get
Yeah.
nervous. I still want to run. My biggest, I think one of the other biggest things I've had to conquer is doubt.
Mm,
Doubt.
Yeah, she still
I
does it.
got you.
I still doubt myself. I still have moments of doubt on this, and I it obviously ties into traumas, you know.
Hmm. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, doubt is the other thing, and
Yeah.
I just want to point out something real fast. Every time we say some kind of key point,
his phone
his
dings.
phone dings.
Yeah,
I just want to point that out. We talk about synchronicities a
yeah.
lot, so that's something I just wanted to point out.
All the way
It
it
was
was like light bulb.
I'm sorry, y'all. I get so many messages sometimes from people. I'm sorry. So
No, no, no. It's but synchronicities is the way we're taught spoke to by the universe.
yeah,
The universe
yeah,
doesn't have a
yeah,
mouth.
yeah. That's true. You're right about that.
I'm sorry, I just had to point that out because
Your
No,
little
that's
hair thing would have been
that's cool.
perfect for that.
you know what? Leave me alone on the little hair thing. Oh, last
We have a
recording.
clip. We have a clip from our last recording. Just I was having a rough day. She's pregnant. She's 6 months pregnant, and
7 months.
7 months. My apologies. And his pregnancy has whipped her butt.
Got you. Got you.
So my hair, and I have the little baby hairs right here on the side, and so like in the middle of the recording, he's in a serious conversation, like he's talking about something serious, and I'm sitting there going okay, and then I feel it slowly uncurl, and it's like tucked behind my ear, and I feel it slowly uncurl, and then all of a sudden it just popped out. It's just like a spring out, and I felt it spring out, and I kind of watched it at the same time, and I'm like, that did not just happen.
Oh
So
my
we
God.
have it. We have a short.
It's gonna be coming out soon about it, because yeah, I just was like, I have to tell somebody about this, because this
That
is
is cool.
Yeah, yeah, it's called reality check.
That is super cool. I love it. I love it. Yeah. But no, I think um, what you guys are doing is going to be powerful. It's going to be beneficial for people. It's going to help the right people. And I think that's the
I just
key.
love hearing it. From so
I
many
I know,
different
you
people.
can't ever hear that too many times, especially when it comes from somebody, and I'm gonna say this, and I don't take this lightly, as powerful as you. Somebody that has, when I look at you, I'm telling you, you have a little angel essence about you. Like you really, I feel that you really are in what you're calling 100%. And like you said, where it takes you, you don't know, but either way is great. What you're doing is magnificent, just as much as what we're doing. You
Yeah.
know, you really, really, really are so heartfelt, and actually, like, when people come into your lives and they drama dump on you, you're there. You show up, you're there, you talk to them, you sympathize with them, you give them that space on your lives, and that is something that I have the utmost respect for, because it
Thank you.
is so needed in this world.
It is. No, you're so right about that. There was a lady who came in, I think it was day before yesterday, and she was just going, off on why, um, why did God do this to me? I lost my 15-month-old child, and I'm hurting, and that's a hard thing, right?
Yeah.
And it was pressed upon my heart to share my story of when I lost my daughter, right? And when I finished that story, she had said, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry." No, 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 no. Listen, I said, I'm thankful that you are sharing this with the right person, because now we carry this together. You're never alone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Thank you for having the strength to say something. Thank you for being here." And um, she followed, and I hope she comes back, right? Because, and I told her, hey, you're going to go through those emotions. You're going to feel it. You're going to be mad. You're going to be angry.
Yeah.
And then she asked a question. She said, how do I deal with people when they just want to talk about this and I don't want to talk about it? I said, be honest and tell them.
I don't want to
Yes.
talk about it.
I don't want to talk about it,
And if they
right?
can't respect that and they can't understand that, then they're not the ones you need to be around right now.
Exactly.
Absolutely. And that's what I told her. You need to find that community, the right community of people, even if it's me just doing it. I tell people this is my best pose. I'll listen. I may not have all the answers. I may not have, right? But I can listen,
And that's
and I
what
can
people
hear you
need.
out. And I can listen with, intent and on purpose. A lot of times we don't know how to listen on purpose, right?
Yeah.
When we learn those elements, those key things, and what taught me was me going to school and learning how to be a life coach and asking the right questions, and using these skill sets to follow up with another question to make them think. That is it.
Yeah.
And and I really hope that she took something away from that live the other day, because she was in pain. So what you said about people trauma dump, I allow that
Yeah.
a lot of times. I do,
You
because
absolutely do, and you're a safe place for it. You
yes,
create a safe place, your community, that you have in your chat, and they're I've met I'm we follow each other. We've got a little network.
people,
There's Mystery Island, and Mysteria, and
yeah,
Camp. We're not like constant,
sure,
I know, like, I even though I don't know them, I know if I needed, I could go and trauma dump on Camp.
of
You know what
course,
I mean?
of course,
And
yeah,
and just knowing that, if we may not always have that one person that we're the most comfortable with, but I promise you that God will put in the person that you need.
Yes.
Sometimes it's a
Yes.
stranger.
Yeah, and sometimes it is
Yeah.
a stranger. God will put in the people that you need, and it may not be the ones that you want, but it's who you need, and you need to
Yeah.
understand that what you need is more important than what you want.
I think
Absolutely.
that's why, I understand that because I work retail and I've been in retail for the last 10 years.
Mm.
And I've always been in one of those interactive with customers retail person.
Yep.
And they'll come through my line and I'll hear some of the most jaw dropping stories. They just start just pouring their hearts out. Some of them are just, needing a second to just dump what's going on in their day or in their life, and then they're like, I feel better. And, I don't mind being that person because
Mm.
it's not harming me. I'm just being somebody that they need for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And, and this is very common in the retail world, and it's a very misunderstood thing in the retail world. A lot of people are like, oh, another story. And it's like, give them that. You're going to maybe see them this one time and you're never going to see them again. Give them the 5 minutes. It's not going to harm you. And I deal with a lot of older people, a lot of the older, community. And,
Yep.
I had one woman come in. She didn't have the receipt. She needed to return something. She just lost her husband 2 days prior. And she's just trying to gain money back to, and I'm just like, okay, let me see what I can do, just to help you out, because, that's all I can do. And she just started.
Again, for our listeners, synchronicities.
And she just talked to me about it and told me what happened. And, I'm just like, I am so sorry that you're going through that. I can't even imagine what you're going through right now, being a married woman, and I can't imagine. And, she had her son with her, and I'm just like, this poor woman. And that is something that I feel that if we took the 5 minutes for the other people in this world, it helps them, as it will help you too.
That is
You know,
beautiful.
I think that kind of ties in with the whole we're doing what we're supposed to be doing. It's God's way of and the universe's way of showing you that people that's where people trust, and look at what the podcast that we do.
Yeah, and we're very much building a community. Like, instead of just being in the real world, we're building a virtual world for these people to have somewhere to go, because sometimes calling a hotline is not what they want to do. Sometimes going to a friend's house is not something what they want to do, or talking.
Right.
Some people just want a space for 5 minutes, an hour. I don't care. I'll sit here for an hour and just listen.
Yeah.
That's what, we have ears for a reason.
Yes. Yes. I love that. That is so beautiful. And that is a special gift that you understand that and you see that, because there's so many that don't. I mean, even when I was doing security, right, there was someone that was displaced, didn't have a place to live, and they were on our property. I went out myself and spent time with her and talked to her. Right? Where are you from? What's your name? How'd you get here? Right? Is there anything I can do to help you? Right? And then we held a conversation, and she said, "Oh my gosh, thank you for treating me as a human." And I'm like, "What? You are human?" She said, "No, you don't understand.
Yeah.
The people." So that's a precious gift.
Mm-hmm.
It is,
Right? You understand?
because especially being somebody in security, typically she would have been approached very aggressively. So, thank you for being one of those humans that don't take power to the mind. Number
Right.
one, you don't let the
Absolutely.
power, you don't let a position of authority, feed your ego. So
That's
thank you
right.
for being that kind of human, number one.
Yeah.
Number two, for recognizing that she is a human and she's just going through it,
Yeah.
instead of
That's it.
looking. I understand that, there's the people that stand on the corner, and there's all the things. Well, they make this much money and they're driving better cars and this and that. I
Right.
understand, but you don't know what some of these people are going through.
Yeah. You don't know. And it's not my place to judge that. It's not
No.
my place to
No.
figure that out. It's my place to be human, to
Exactly.
show compassion. That's my
Yes.
place. And if I keep doing that, hey, life will be better. I
It-
promise you.
there's something that really resonates, and there was a couple people that we've had on here that says that we're just a spirit. I think we're a spiritual being living a human
Human
experience,
experience. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that right there resonates because we're all going through the same thing in different
Yeah.
ways at
Yeah.
different times.
Yeah. So true. That's powerful. Yeah. Powerful way of looking at that. I love that. Wow. This podcast is tough. I love it. I love
Thank you. Thank you.
this is
It's
good.
well, and this was my big thing, and I've been pushing for it and pushing for it because I was somebody who didn't have a safe person or a safe space and couldn't find one. From a teenager to, as a kid,
Younger,
even
yeah.
as a kid. And, you know, and so I've always wanted to be a person who wanted to be that safe space. I wanted to open myself to that so that other people could have that because it's hard to not have somebody to talk to. It doesn't matter who you are. And, not knowing how to validate the emotions and not, you're mentally beating yourself up. This shame, you're doubting yourself, all of it.
Yeah.
You want somebody there to be able to tell you, you're here for a reason and you're worth being here.
Yeah. Absolutely. I love that. I always said this, and I believe this with all of my heart, that your calling or your greatness is predicated off pain, right? If you want to be
Yeah.
effective out there, you're going to go through some pain. You're going to go through it, right? So then you become what you never had for other people,
Exactly.
and it's a blessing.
There's
It
so much
really is.
power in that. And if people, and I'm not saying that, everything that you go through is, well, actually, no, I do. I believe everything you go through is for a purpose. It's not against you, but it's for you.
Yep.
And to
Yep.
build, helping you become the person or the being that God
Yep.
or the universe needs you to be. You
Yes.
know,
Yep.
I am. There's a lot of people that kind of shy away from the Bible, but I'm spiritual regardless,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
it says God doesn't call the qualified, God qualifies the called.
Wow. Yes.
And through that pain is your qualifications. That's how you get qualified. That is your schooling, and
Yep.
you learn from that. That
You
is what
do.
it's meant to be, is to learn and to help others crawl
Yes.
out of that hole that you were in once before.
Yeah. That's it. That is it. And when I'm live, I tell stories about myself. That is a key element that makes everybody feel like, oh, I have a place, or
Yeah.
he's talking directly to me. And I
Hmm.
just keep it on me and how I survived and how I got back up and what did I see and what
It
did I
will
experience.
resonate with the people that it's
Yes.
supposed to resonate with.
Right.
However, it is supposed to resonate with them. We are
That's right.
each individually going through these growth experiences, and there's ways that we can actually follow the way the universe is talking to us. And when
Yeah.
we learn these things, it really, and you actually apply them, it helps so much. Synchronicities, pay attention to those things, like the dings. You can't
Hmm.
make these things up. We
That's
can't,
true.
we
It's
can't
true.
make these things up. And I mean, there's a reason why she went, the dings. Every time we talk about a key point, pay people, for our listeners, pay attention to these synchronicities because it's
Yeah.
going to show you your road.
That's
It,
true. You're
it
so
may
right
not be
about
for
that.
us, but it may be for somebody else.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That is true. Yeah. And I believe in the journey and going on it and, keeping the faith and whatever that looks like for a person, you
Yeah.
know, go experience it, do it. Right. So
Yeah,
I'm,
because it's going
I'm
to look
always,
different.
yes, it is. Yeah. Yeah. So I always got my spiritual pom poms for people. I'm always rooting you on. You know, you got it. You get back up. You got this. And
Spiritual moms.
Yeah, I
I
was
was
like,
just like
give me a
right, with spiritual absolutely.
win.
Yeah. Yeah. But I normally tell people if they really want to find me or anything, just Google me. Just Google GIHSO and everything about me will pop up because sometimes you tell people go to GIHSO.com or GIHSO here, GIHSO, who I am, what I stand for, my website, everything will pop up there if you just Google GIHSO, right? I'm the first,
There you
I've been
go.
pushing hard to really, put it out there. So they'll find all my handles on TikTok, on YouTube. They can see my messages. They can see, my life coaching and everything, and then also do merch too, right? Just a reminder for people. So I do sell
You know,
merch as well.
your brand there, Giso, is what really resonated with me the strongest. The going in hot, safety off, because that's
Yeah,
me 100%. I was like radical acceptance. Head first, I'm just ramming right into my
yeah,
recovery. I'm ramming right into whatever I need to face. God will put in
yeah,
front of me, and I will barrel through it. You
yeah.
know, and with
Absolutely.
all of my, everybody's like, be careful here, be careful. No, I'll be
Yeah,
fine. I'm going.
you
Nothing's
going?
stopping me back. That only
Absolutely.
God Himself will be able to stop me,
Yeah,
and that's what's propelling me forward. You know,
yeah.
and so
Absolutely.
the going in hot, safety off is what got me.
That's right. Oh, I love that. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. So my actual logo on the O, it's the power button right here. I don't know if you can kind of see it,
Yeah, I
right?
like your logo with the because it has the angel wings. I love it.
Has the wings, right? And the O, it's the on and off switch, right? You look at devices, you look at TVs,
Yeah,
right? Yeah, I want to watch TV, I turn it off. I want to turn it on. Wow, the power has always been in you from birth. That's what that represents, the power button, right? If something like,
yeah,
listen, I don't, you talking
and
negative,
it's
turn it
right there,
off.
right in the solar plex.
Absolutely,
On the
right?
shirt, it's right there on the solar plex, and that's where it's
Right there.
at in your soul.
Absolutely. So yeah, turn on the things that, right, that will activate strength, that would activate being a warrior, that would activate your mindset. Turn on those things. And vice versa. If anything's bothering me, no, turn that off. I don't have time. I don't have time. Turn it off. Ooh, you being negative? But turn that off now. Right?
Hmm.
And you move forward. So yeah.
I laugh at that because I'm not ticklish. My husband will try to tickle my sides and he'll
Uh,
find it for 5 seconds, and then
uh,
it's an off switch. I literally have an off switch for my tickle spots, and he's
wow.
like, "How? That's not that's." He's like, "That's BS. That's not true." Because he tries it himself and he can't do it. But I'm like, I'm serious. It is an off switch. You can
Yeah.
turn that off.
Yeah.
You just have to really,
Absolutely.
really focus on it.
Gotta focus. Absolutely. Back to the mindset. Yeah. Back to the
Exactly.
mindset. Yeah.
This has been so much fun, and I am so glad you came on. I think our listeners are going to benefit extremely from you and anybody that's out there that's listening to this. I strongly suggest going and looking Giso up and going on to his lives, finding him, following him, subscribing, all of that stuff because I'm telling you, you got a friend in him.
Oh,
Got a
Friend in
friend.
me.
all right. Let's go. I love that song too. I love that song. Yeah, I do. I
I
love that.
do want to say that I am very thankful for you coming on here, and I'm glad that we finally got to meet.
Yeah.
And I hope that one day that we can be on, at the same level as you, where we have the merch for our people, and
Yeah.
and just have. I think we're gonna have the same community. I very much
I
feel
think we're tribe members.
yeah, I very much
Yeah.
I feel that because we very much see it the same way, and we both want to be that same open safe space for people.
Yeah, I love that. That is beautiful. And listen, you guys will. I can see it. You have allowed me to be myself and be so comfortable and just be calm and because I still get nervous even though I do talking points and things. I still get nervous because sometimes you just don't know. Now, So thank you for allowing me to be me.
Of
That's what I'm
course.
trying to say.
Wouldn't
Thank you.
want you any other way.
I very much enjoy you being you, your
Yeah.
authentic self, because, we wouldn't want you any other way.
Thank you so much. Yeah, that's a gift. So yeah, so um, you guys are gonna go far, very far.
I
Yeah.
hope so. That is the goal. I still have that grand, glorious greatness.
This
Thoughts
is her
there.
vision board.
Yeah, I have this huge vision board of like building a whole bunch of different things and going really far in this, but it's all God's will at,
Even
at
It
this
is.
point.
with
It is.
me, even
Yeah.
if it doesn't go far,
If
as
we
long
can
as it
just
reaches the right people.
Yeah, and that's honestly where we're at. Yeah, okay, it would be fantastic to make a bunch of money but with a bunch of money comes a bunch of more problems too.
It's true.
And
Yeah.
And
It's,
responsibility.
responsibility and things that
yeah.
I may not be prepared for. And if that's not
Yeah.
what's meant for my life, then that's fine. I'm here to do what I'm meant to do, and I'm standing on that regardless. I have been gifted and blessed with a second chance, and I'm not ruining it.
Wow. Wow. Well, listen, I would love to have you guys on my podcast because I have one as well,
Do
right? Where I
you?
can do people. I do. Yep.
Yay!
So yeah. So I will, if it's okay, I will get some times together, and it's on StreamYard. That's
Okay,
where I do. So you'll have your own
okay.
little box and
We
everything,
have
and
a friend that does his on StreamYards. Yeah, we have another
oh, you're
podcaster. We
familiar
actually
with.
have a few people I actually want to.
we have our own little podcast community
Yeah,
too.
we're building our own little podcast community, and I actually have a few people in mind that I want to get you in contact with because I think that they would really enjoy having you on there, and I think we'll have to talk a little bit more off to the side, you
Okay,
know. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm with
most
it.
definitely.
because you're gonna go far too. I think this is where it's at right now.
Yep.
I think it's kind of funny because I really felt that God had told me that you need to come out and come about all your shames. You need to empty all your.
I'm telling you, it only does it at key points.
That is
Wow,
cool.
you
That
can't
is
make
so
that
cool.
shit up.
That is so cool.
Thank you, God. But okay, so God really told me, you need to come out and you need to empty your skeletons in your closet, and I
Yeah.
did. And when I was first told that, and I'm kind of ashamed of it, but it is what it is. I told God, "Fuck you." I said, "I have fought so hard, and the things that I went through in my past also kept me from wanting to come out because there's people that had rumors about me that weren't true. But then I was like, if I come out, now I'm going to make all those rumors true in their minds. And I was
Mm,
told it's not about their minds.
right. Wow.
And Jelly Roll, he's so huge in the community, but it's because he's been there and he
Yep.
understands, and his music spoke to me in those moments. People will say God won't use secular music. Yes, he will. God
Hmm.
will use whatever God wants to use
Yeah.
to speak to you,
Absolutely.
and you need to understand that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And 100% Jelly Roll, his songs spoke to me so strong, and I was
Yeah.
really going through a really difficult time, and that's when I was told, you need to start a podcast, you need to step out, you need to tell
Yeah.
people, and I was like, just I was right all along.
Right.
That's right.
But like when I say I was given a second chance, I was given a second chance. I was able to quit cold turkey,
Yeah.
where I wasn't able to do that. I was go.
You're just for confirmations, that's all.
Day.
Another key point. Right. Another.
Yeah, I was going every time I tried quitting. I was having 90 seizures a week. Like it was either you use or you die. It
Wow.
was you could die. I could die from overdose or I could die from seizure. Which one would you prefer? Type thing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it literally was like a miracle when I was able to stop cold turkey and not have any seizures. And now
Wow.
I'm completely off medications. I'm still going through withdrawals. That's why I'm like over here shivering and stuff. But I'm completely off all medications and no
Wow.
seizures.
Wow. Look at that. That's a blessing.
It is truly a
But
blessing, and I made a promise, and I'm sticking to it.
yeah, yeah. Wow.
God gave
Okay.
me my life back, an even better one than what I had before. And that's why I always repeat in my head, remember God's promise. Remember God's promise.
Beautiful. Yeah.
But
Wow. Wow. Wow.
yeah, thank you so much for being on.
Yes.
Now,
Yes.
GIHSO, look you up on Google. They want to find you, and they will find all that information. GIHSO for our listeners and not our watchers. We thank you, GIHSO, so much for coming on.
Thank you.
We're going to go ahead and wrap this up.
In 1 second, because we still got to get our listeners to follow us too.
Oh, yeah, I was handing it off to you.
Well, for all our listeners, you can follow and like us on YouTube, and you can also look us up on Facebook. We'll just type in "looking through the glass," through like you're going through something. I don't know what kind of breath that was, but it was a weird one. And I felt like Sheldon. And then you can also find us on TikTok. It's "looking through the glass" all together. That "through" is like a drive-through. And so you can always find us on there. You can always reach out to us on there. You can also reach out to us on our email. For our listeners, it's 12looking34theglass@gmail.com. Through, like a drive-through. And that way, if anybody wants to reach out, put their story out there, wants to talk to us, or just needs somebody to talk to, you can reach out to us as well. And that way you have a safe space and have a voice. All right, and GIHSO, once again, thank you. We appreciate you.
Bye. This was fun. I appreciate y'all. Much love to y'all. Really.
Thank you
This
so
was
much.
Yes.